We're going to throw it over to the redhead just because I kind of caught you out of the corner of my eye, peripheral vision. Dame, what do you got?
I have Briars v. Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company's suit.
Big one. Another big one.
Yeah, so essentially the court here decided that Chatbox is wiretapping.
Yeah, well said.
And I mean, they caught him under two different statutes in the California Penal Code. One for the intentional wiretapping, one for having it without their consent through a wireless phone. And the defense tried to, say that this was pled insufficiently, but what carried the plaintiff through on both was the use of the phrase highly sensitive information. And because of that, they said this brought it past just record information, which is allowable. And now we get to see how this plays out.
Yeah, it's funny. So these cases are brought, of course, under the California Invasion of Privacy Act. This is the anti-wiretapping, anti-eavesdropping statute here in California. We've talked about this before. We had a whole episode on CIPA, if you missed it. But just to reorient people, the penalties for violation are between $2,500 and $5,000 per illegal wiretap. Now, this has been brought, primarily these cases, in the context of web session recording, like Journia or Active Prospect. We've talked about this before. Really bad fit in that scenario. I don't think these cases have legs, even though they've actually been moderately successful, the plaintiff's bar has, in at least surviving the pleading stage. The Chatbox cases, now they're a horse of a different color. Huge volume of these cases have been brought. The plaintiff's bar is really on top of these. And I'm going to tell you, maybe for good reason. And this Goodyear case shows you why, right? The core to a wiretapping claim is that a communication is being read, interpreted, or listened to, right? Not recorded, read or interpreted in real time during transmission or at the point of transmission or at the point of reception of the transmission, okay? So either as it leaves, as it's going, or as it's received, somebody is listening in and actively learning the content of the communication. Now, that's a bad fit in the context of Journia, where they're just recording the communication, right? That's very different. But in the chat box, my goodness, they're reading it, aren't they? They're listening in, aren't they? And they're responding.
How is it any different than a phone call?
Yeah, that's the problem.
The two-party states.
So obviously, where the chat box is actually being operated by the website operator, you're okay. But the problem is that these chat boxes are oftentimes being used by a third party. The argument goes that that third party, not the website operator, not a party to the communication. The communication is between the consumer and the website operator, right? The brand, not the user or the displayer, if you will, the provider of the widget that is the communication mechanism that is the chat box. Really interesting stuff.
More interesting. Easy fix compared to the other cases that we've been seeing, right? You see, hi, my name is Mary. Hi, Eric, how are you doing? You're going to be recorded. Do you consent? Yes, no. If you say no, chat box ends.
Yeah, I mean, that is
simple
pretty
fix.
straightforward.
It's no different than giving the call recording disclosure on the phone.
I don't know why that didn't dawn on me before. Yeah, that's fantastic. And with the AI, the AI can be easily programmed. We've got the AI chat box to do this and get that consent. So it's remarkable that kind of we are where we are because I think a lot of folks were caught unawares. It is an easy enough fix, but I mean, as you know, you look backward in time, right? Liability is already affixed. It is amazing how many of these cases are being filed. I mean, it is like the new gold rush. You've got just so many cases. The plaintiffs just coming in, staking their territory. It's remarkable. Anything else, Dame?
That's it for me.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks so much for being here. Always love seeing you.